Alright, so we're going to do subtraction with mixed fractions. And unlike denominators. And in our problem, we are going to need to subtract and simplify as if we're on a test. Our problem is going to be 8 2/3 minus 5 5/6. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rearrange this problem so that we can see it as a subtraction problem here. So we'll rewrite it in a vertical fraction. So we'll have the fractions right below each other, the whole numbers right below each other. And the first thing we do when we have unlike denominators is we need to find the least common multiple. So first, we will find the LCM, which is least common multiple. So to find that, we need to list the multiples of 3, which 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and then the multiples of 6, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, and I can see that we already have the lowest common multiple is 6. So next, we need to change our fractions. So get new fraction. So I'll take the 2/3 and we're going to change it into something over 6 because that's our common multiple. And we did that by multiplying by 2. So if you multiply the bottom by 2, you multiply the top by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. And we need to change the other fraction, so 5/6. And our least common multiple is 6 times 1. We multiply by 1. And 5 times 1 is 5. So it stayed the same. So now we need to rewrite our fraction or our problem. So we have 8 and we changed 2/3 to 4/6. So we need to replace the problem. And then we had 5 and we did not change it. It was times by 1, so it's still 5/6. And now we have a common denominator. Now, anytime you do subtraction, you need to ask yourself, do I have more on the top or more on the floor? If you have more on the top, you can just go ahead and subtract because you can take 5 away from 8, right? But can you take 5 away from 4? And you can't. So we have more on the floor, which means we need to go next door and regroup. We need to borrow, which means the 8 will become a 7, and we'll have one whole that we need to add to 4/6. So I'll take 4/6 over here, and I'm going to add one whole, which we have 6 pieces, and one whole is all 6 pieces. So that gives us a new fraction of 10/6. And that's an improper fraction, but that's okay when we're going to be subtracting. So we will rewrite our problem. and we'll have 10 over 6. Now, do we have more on the top? We have 10 pieces, or on the floor we have 5 pieces. We have more on top, so now we can subtract. So our denominator will stay as 6, and 10 minus 5 is 5. And now we can do our whole numbers. So 7 minus 5 is 2. So our answer is 2 whole and 5 sixths. And we just need to make sure that's in the simplest terms. So we can list out we can list the factors of 5 and 6, and the factors for 5 are 1 and 5, and the factors for 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And since the greatest common factor, or the GCF, when we're simplifying, we're looking for the greatest common factor is 1, that means we cannot simplify. So this is our simplest form. And that would be our answer. And to check ourselves, we could take the fraction right above, which is 5 and 5 sixths, and we can add our answer, which is 2 and 5 sixths, and we can see if it equals what we had on top. So 5 sixths plus 5 sixths is 10 over 6, and then 5 plus 2 is 7, which is what we had up here. We had 7 and 10 over 6. So that means our answer is correct.